This is the true story of Peter and Hazel Allen and their remarkably unfamous family of film extras of 4 generations. In 1983, Peter, Hazel and their daughter Wendy worked as supporting artists on Return of the Jedi. Join the youthful and good-looking Jedi Knight Jack Latimer, son of Wendy, as he battles the evil Empire to destroy the legacy that he will always and only remain in the background of films that he will never amount to being anything other than just a fuzzy blur in the distance.
Yeah, it's been tough. I'd love to be a movie star. And although I love my granddad, this whole dark side thing's become a real burden. And even though he just played a Stormtrooper, it's left me with a hatred for actual Stormtroopers. I don't know, I guess it's one of those psychological things. Oh well, at least he was in the greatest trilogy of all time. Excuse me. Hi, my name is Jedi Knight. My name is Jack Latimer, and I'm a Jedi Knight. My nan and granddad. Oh. Where was I? Oh yeah, my nan and granddad have been in over 600 films.
They worked on Quadrophenia, Little Shop of Horrors, Flash Gordon, and Elephant Man, and Superman, and Monty Python's Meaning of Life, multiple James Bonds and Alien 3, Roger Rabbit, and Raiders of the Lost Ark, Witches, that was a great film, Batman, cool, alright, Fifth Element, and Brazil, which was a little bit weird, and of course Return of the Jedi, which they worked on for 30 days and earned around 50 to 70 pounds per day.
So if you answer that question first, then I can answer my question that follows on from you.
The questions I've got: what made you become film extras? Where did it all begin? And why did it all begin? So maybe you could think about that one first.
Well, you've got
my answer to that is we were badly in need of money, weren't we?
No, don't joke anymore for the moment.
Well, in my particular case, I became a diabetic about 35 years ago, and I was just sort of sitting around doing nothing and sleeping, and some friends of ours who were film extras said, why don't you do some film work?
I am not an animal! I am a human being!
Do you remember a cowboy film where they're all sitting around the fire and they all started passing wind at all, no?
Blazing Saddles. Blazing Saddles.
Well, yeah.
Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks, that's Mel Brooks, yeah, that's I couldn't think of him. Yeah. Me and Burt Reynolds, Ben Kingsley. He was Gandhi, very good. There's John Goodman, Charlton Heston, Clint Eastwood. Who was the Incredible Hulk? David Bixby, John Cleese here. The film was Privates on Parade. Lunchtime, we was playing football. John Cleese and myself and some other guys. Judi Dench. I don't know where this is going to be shown, but you're not supposed to take photos when you're on a film, an extra. Helen Mirren. Yeah, that was Richard Pryor. Joan Collins. Michael Caine.
George and Ringo.
They were my daughter's idols. And I looked across and I've still got the cap on the camera. And Ringo said straight away to me, "You're sacked."
Man, my grandparents have the coolest friends. Whoa. Wait. It's because they must have met them on film sets, yeah. That makes way more sense. Here's me in my silver screen debut with Nan, Grandad and my cousin Lauren in Fierce Creatures. There I am, sandwiched in between Michael Palin and John Cleese. And thus it became. The legacy was passed down to the third generation. From grandparents, uncles, aunties, cousins, siblings, even our pet dogs were in stuff. But it hasn't stopped there. My cousin's baby got the part as Roxy's baby in EastEnders, becoming the first of the fourth generation. A New Hope. We should call her that. A New Hope, that's good. Oh!
What? The path that way. Oh, now I can't remember which way I came from. Used to force jack. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. George Lucas liked to get the most out of his extras. Grandad didn't just play a Stormtrooper, he also played Geezem in Jabba's palace, alongside my nana who played Yoxgit.
Welcome to Jabba's palace. And if we freeze frame here, we can see Grandad, but now on the flip side, and part of a continuital error, he's now behind Chewbacca and nowhere near Jabba. Later on, we can also see Nan in part of a continuital error. Here she is sat down behind R2-D2, but then suddenly stood up behind C-3PO, holding a cup. R2. And now Grandad's behind R2-D2. Both were eventually blown to smithereens over the dune seas of Tatooine.
Carrie Fisher threw her arms around my neck and said, "What's your name?" I said, "Peter." And she said, "No, I'm Peter." She said, "You're Carrie." And she gave me a big kiss. I couldn't believe it.
My Grandad could have been any one of these stormtroopers. Whether he was in the front row or the back row, he simply can't remember. My mother. She was a good mum, but an even better rebel. And raising me on a rebel technician's wage wasn't easy. Here she is in the briefing room, where if you squint your eyes and look just here, she is there. That's definitely her. But possibly Grandad's finest moment was being captured by Han, Leia and Chewbacca on the forest moon of Endor. Everyone who works on the film, including my family, were given a special commemorative patch saying Revenge of the Jedi, which was the film's original name.
It's a little bit like how the original of this film had other names too. There was My Yoxgit Grandma, Mama Was a Rebel Technician, and Grandpa Geezem and Me.
It's fair to say that Star Wars became fairly successful. No, it became really, really successful. I do want to stress that. And little did my grandparents know at the time, but the characters they played were made into figurines, trading cards, featured on puzzles, and they would probably have never known this until the fans wanted to meet them in person. What happened next would result in my granddad's autograph being sold online for $25 US. But where would you meet Geezem and Yoxit, you ask? Where would you go?
No.
It's not really the end of the road because you're signing autographs.
Oh, yeah.
I'm famous now out of
Well, not famous.
We just didn't dream when we were actually on Star Wars that anything would come out of that.
Hey, where you going, man? Come on. Oh, yeah, no, go get help. Get help. Yeah, that's where he's going. Wait a second. If Nan and Grandad were famous because they're in Star Wars, then all I need is a part in Star Wars. My grandparents had it. My mother had it. I have it. Sounds just like a Star Wars film. So Disney, what do you say? Can I have a part in the new Star Wars films? What does that look like, guys? Can you see my spot on my nose?